Hi there. Over the next 7 days, we are going to focus on sales transformation. How are we going to do that? By focusing on how to turn your fear into fearlessness so that you can transform your sales mindset to transfer your income. So over the next 7 days, I'm showing up here live because a colleague and I are holding each other accountable to visibility, to showing up. And that's probably the first thing that when we're thinking about transformation in your life and we're thinking about money and sales is, are you surrounded by people who are holding you accountable, who are just as hungry as you, who are just as motivated as you, who want to build better, go after better, and do better, right? And so over the next 7 days, I'm going to be showing up to do these challenges, and I want to challenge you to also show up with me, whether you're catching me live or here on the replay. Each day builds upon each. And the reason why I'm also doing this isn't just because of my colleague and I holding each other accountable, but it's because as I'm talking to clients and out there talking to people, I'm hearing that we really need people who are really real and raw and authentic nowadays. And I just really felt called to do this from a place of service myself. I've talked to so many different people, especially my single moms out there who right now, given the state of the economy, are stressed, are worried about where money's coming from, right? And the key here is to be so laser focused on what it is that you want to create for yourself and to look at everything else that isn't there, a distraction for you. The season of life that I'm in right now, I often say it's not helping me flow, grow, or glow up, it's a no. And that includes the people that I keep in my circles. That includes just everything that I'm consuming. And so I'm showing up today it's going to be one of 7 series where over the next several days, this is how we're going to work together. 1, we're going to spend the next couple of days mastering your story, mastering your power, thinking about what are some of those fears that are limiting you, okay? Then we're going to practice relationship first selling. This is really the key that is going to help you overcome the AAA threat, the automation, algorithms, and AI. What does relationship first selling 2.0 start to look like? Then we're going to start implementing clarity with your messaging. And then lastly, I'm going to help you think about how do you start to integrate $1 million thinking into your decision making. This is really key, and we're going to pull it all together in 7 days, really quickly, okay? And so I want to invite you to take on the practice exercises, to really take a moment to do this. I'm going to keep them really short, bite-sized. I love what I call mindset quickies, right? Just in and out, right? Like you're done. And as over the next several days, I want you to set the intention for yourself. I love Oracle cards, tarot cards, and before this live, I pulled out this deck, and I pulled out a card, and I pulled out the artist, which is such a perfect way for us to think about our first day together, right? The artist. I create my vision, creative, visionary, imaginative, idealistic, connective, harmonious, passionate, receptive, reverent, spiritual. Perfect way to start day 1 together. So let's dive into how do you start to break the high ticket, high commission sales dread cycle? Now, if you and I haven't met, I'm Elizabeth Yang. I am the CEO Mentalist. I am a sales strategist that specializes in coaching and training around social selling, high ticket, high commission sales. You're going to hear me use high ticket, high commission, high sales, all interchangeably. And what that's really focused on is that based on as a service provider, whether you're selling actual services that are your high ticket offer or you're selling commodity or services that really yield high commission sales, it's all pretty much the same mindset and approach, okay? So the key of what I do is I help people break their negative cycles to earn more. And that's really why I'm showing up here, because I've actually been really inspired by some of the conversations I've been having over the last several months. People really curious about how do I get there? How do I put together not only just a high ticket offer, but how do I stay focused on selling at that level? Because let's keep it real. If you want wealth in your life, the number 1 wealth building skill set is to master high ticket, high commission sales. Why? Because Not only are you going to be working with amazing quality clients, but you're going to bring in cash flow faster. And I think probably at the heart of it that's most important is you're going to gain the confidence and the courage to be able to do that. If you can close high ticket, high commission sales consistently, my friend, you can sell anything at any price point. Okay, so let's dive into day one. How many of you, drop it in the comments or raise your hand, feel your stomach dropping when you're about to make that sales call, or you're thinking about that sale, that thought, right before you're going to get in there and sell, or you're having a sales conversation, right? So you see, most people will look at that and they'll be like, oh, I just want to stop feeling that dread. I just want to stop feeling that fear. Oftentimes what's at the heart of selling is the fear of rejection. And I just want you to slow down and just think about this with me for a moment. Okay, fear of rejection. Where does that come from? What if I invited you to think about fear of rejection is to accept it? Because when you're trying to reject fear of rejection, you're doing the very thing that you're going to be attracting into your life. Because our inner world creates our outer reality. And so when you're trying to avoid feeling fear of rejection, you're trying to reject the rejection you're fearing, which means that you're going to create more of that into your life. You following me on that? So the key is to accept it and notice that it's a real part of you. And I still have fears all the time. And when we accept it, then we can really start to reframe fear to become fearless. Because what's really the goal of fear, my friends? It's to keep you safe. It's to protect you. And when you think about love, yes, it feels great. But what's also a part of love? Safety and protection, right? So fear and love both come from the same cloth. And when you start to accept it, you start to realize that what if fear is really love that's trying to keep me safe? When you're able to have this awareness, you then can now take a moment to reflect back on when you experienced your first rejection that caused this fear that lingered. I was working with a client on high commission sales with her, and we did the same exact exercise. And what she discovered was that when she was in grade school and they were doing a chocolate fundraiser at school, she was so excited about it. She didn't know anything about sales back then, but she was selling. And she's just so excited. She just really wanted the prize for selling the most chocolate bars, fundraising. And so she told all of her friends that she was going to do this. She was going to win. It turned out she didn't win. She didn't sell enough. And she was so not only disappointed in herself, but her friends made fun of her. And she felt so humiliated. And because of that, she made a decision about herself, which was, I'm just not good enough. And she also made a decision about sales, which is, I'm not good enough. I don't want to be humiliated like this again. This is embarrassing. I'm just gonna fail. So as an adult, what was stopping her from making thousands of dollars was this memory, this moment of selling chocolate as a kid. It sounds silly, but that's how powerful our subconscious mind is. Our subconscious mind is designed to give us everything that we want, and it's also designed to keep us safe. For her, this is where her fear of rejection in sales was coming from. For you, where is that coming from? That's really key, okay? We got to remember that fear and love are the same coin, heads and tails from the same coin. And when you can reframe this and accept that, and not try to avoid feeling this, but accept it, it starts to shift things for you. You're really doing the internal work, okay? This is really key, because when I first started selling, I also dreaded sales. I actually was so fearful of even charging what I was charging. And it really took me a long time to really truly grow into selling high ticket, high commission. Now 6 figures, like closing 6-figure deal, it's nothing. It's a blink of an eye, right? Or if you're working with people who have done multiple seven-figure deals, it's not a big deal, because you start to realize that it's not really about the money. It's about our relationship to money and sales. That's really going to help you change the game. And so that's really how I started to build and shift from dread to confidence. And that's exactly why I'm showing up here today, to speak some truth into you, to shake you. If I could just reach over here and shake you and just help you realize that you can shift from fear to fearless by simply working through the inner work, that's really going to change the game for you. Okay? So here's your practice for today. 1, write down your number one sales fear below. Send it in a DM or write it down, or if you comment below, I'm able to then help you work through it. This is the number one fear that's really holding you back, that's really limiting you back, okay? So the first thing I want you to do. The second thing is I want you to speak truth to it, okay? So accept it, sit with it. Try to remember, when was the first time that you felt this way? These feelings are familiar. Why? And journal on that. And then as part of that truth, I want you to think about the services that you're selling, and think about, what is the truth behind those services that you're selling, those solutions. And I'll give you an example in just a moment here, okay? And then number 3 is I want you to turn that into a power statement and then repeat it 3 times out loud, okay? Every day. For example, let's say that your number one sales fear is what if I contact them or do a cold call, or I reach out and I'm bothering them, right? Oh, I don't want to inconvenience them. I don't want to bother them. What's the truth? What's the truth with that? I have found, working with clients, that oftentimes when people have this as their number one fear, they tend to be a people pleaser. And the truth is, they're a people pleaser. Because somewhere in their childhood, they didn't feel good enough. They didn't feel safe to be who they were and to ask for their needs and be able to receive from a caregiver. And in order for them to feel loved, they felt like they had to please their caregiver, their mom, their dad. And that has stayed with them because they had a fear of rejection and abandonment. And so they didn't want to bother people. They didn't want to bother their parents or caregiver to ask for their needs to be met. Instead, they wanted just to please them by being okay, learning how to soothe themselves and cope, right? So what is that truth? So that is the truth. Maybe that is somewhere along the way you see yourself in that example, right? So once you gain that awareness, now you can look at your solution and services and think, what is the truth with what I'm selling? What is the truth with my solution? Every single one of us has a truth of service in what we're selling. I was working with a musician, an artist, a singer, and I said, you're still selling something. Because the truth of your service is that your music captures the words and the feelings and emotions of people that can't find an expression to articulate their pain, to heal. And your music and your words and your lyrics, that's the truth of your service, right? What's the truth of yours? If you're in real estate, it's not just selling a home or buying a home. The truth in your service is that you are giving someone, your client, an opportunity to create their dream home, their dream life. To maybe they're buying their first home for the first time, and they're recognizing that by having this home, they can provide their family with a home that will create the beautiful memories, the laughter, the joy, the warmth. That is the truth of your service. Are you following me on this? If this is powerful for you, drop me a yes below, okay? So that's the second step that I want you to do, okay, is speak your truth. The truth of, where did this fear, these feelings, these emotions, where do they feel familiar from my past? And the truth in my service, okay? The number 3 is then to create your power statement. So if your fear is that, oh, I'm bothering people, and as you do that work, you realize that, no, actually, the truth of my service is that I'm providing a solution that could transform their lives, that can show them, that can give them the dream home to provide their family with creation of beautiful memories. Then what's your power statement? Your power statement can be, I am a champion for home buyers to step into their dream, to be the provider of their dreams with their family. I am, right, the artist that create music that will heal people, and they will buy my albums, buy my songs, buy my show tickets, and come to experience this with me. That's your power statement. You following me? Drop that into the comments if you need some refining. But I want you to keep it, after you do that, I want you to refine it and keep it short and simple. The simpler, the shorter, the better. And I want you to repeat it 3 times. Okay? 3 times to yourself out loud. So if I feel like I'm bothering people, and the truth is that my solution transforms their lives to step into their dream home, to create beautiful memories with their children, my statement might be, I am a dream maker of homes and families. I am a dream maker of homes and families. I am the dream maker of homes and families. That's who I am. I am the dream maker of homes and families. I am the person that is going to show up, that is going to champion for my dreamy clients to help them find their dream home, to create the dream, the memories with their families and loved ones for years to come. The home that they're going to have during Christmas, where everyone's wearing matching Christmas pajamas and opening presents. I am going to be the dream homemaker that is going to help my clients show up and create that dream of theirs. Oh, Mike, are you feeling me on that? That's how powerful this is, okay? So do that. Tomorrow I'm going to show up at 8 a.m. Central Time, and we're going to build upon day 2. We're going to build upon day 2. We're going to continue to master your fears, step into mastering your power, mastering your story. And then the next couple of days, we're going to build into that with practicing relationship selling, right? Some tactical skills to start getting those leads. We're going to start implementing some clarity into your messaging. Boom, boom. And then we're going to then integrate your $1 million thinking into your decision making so that you can let go to glow up. Okay? All right. So with that, happy sales.